Hi, let's talk a bit about code. UI accessibility is the cornerstone for developing accessible UIKit apps. It is a protocol providing a set of methods and properties for defining the accessibility information of your views and controls. I'd encourage you to check the documentation, and you'll see that it's quite extensive. But for now, we're going to focus on the 4 properties you'll find yourself coming back to over and over: the accessibility label, value, traits, and hint. If SwiftUI is your jam, don't worry. We have equivalent modifiers for those 4 properties, and they work pretty much the same, and we'll see code to cover both frameworks in this series. Now, the most important thing to know is that native controls already have very good baked-in accessibility support. So if you stick to them and use Apple's APIs as intended, you'll find that things are quite accessible by default and that very little effort can take you a long way. But sometimes, you need some extra functionality that is not supported, and you may need to develop your own custom controls. In that case, and to bring the accessibility of your app to the next level, you'll need to master these 4 properties. So what are they? The accessibility label is the name of the component. The accessibility trait defines what the component is and how to interact or not with it. At the time of recording this video, UIKit has a list of 20, and 17 for SwiftUI, that you can choose from to configure your control. It is perfectly fine for a component to have more than one of these traits. There will be more videos about traits in the future. The accessibility value is about its state, the information it contains. And the accessibility hint provides, if necessary, extra context to the user. And what's better than an example to understand what those 4 properties are about? So, let's open Xcode. For now, I created this SwiftUI project. It's linked in the description so you can download it and code along as you watch the video. It is a very basic app to keep track of iOS conferences, and we'll start simple. We're going to add a slider to rate the conferences you've attended. We'll open the conference review file and add a state value named rating, which is a double. Now, we'll go ahead and add our slider. The value will be the state value we have just created. In is the range for the slider, and we'll set the range from 0 to 5, for example, both included. The step is going to be 1, so you can change the value from 1 to 1. The label is going to be a text with the string rating. And finally, we'll just save the rating value in the on editing changed closure. It is looking good in the preview. Let's run the project on a device. With VoiceOver on, we'll open one of the conferences with a double tap. I've added NS Spain.
Sidebar, NS Spain. How much did you like the conference?
Now, let's navigate to the slider.
Rating, 0, adjustable. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
So this is not a single blob of text, but a good example to see those 4 properties in action. The label or component's name is rating. The value or component state or configuration, if you will, is 0. The trait or what the component is adjustable. And the hint to get more context around the component is swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
1, 2, 3, 4, 3.
And you may be thinking, but I haven't configured any accessibility properties. Back to what I said earlier, native components have sensible accessibility configurations. They won't always work perfectly for your specific use case, but they will a lot of times. And with a bit of care, you can easily bring your experience to the next level. In this video, we've learned about the 4 accessibility concepts that will be at the core of your UI components: accessibility labels, values, traits, and hints. And we've also seen how using native components can get you a decent experience to build upon. If you want to know more, look out for the next videos. We will build a custom component from scratch that we'll have to manually configure for an optimal VoiceOver experience. There will be 3 follow-up videos, one for SwiftUI, a second one where we will show an alternative technique for SwiftUI called accessibility representation, and a third one where we'll see how to make the same component accessible with UIKit. Till the next one.